Hi dear students, welcome back all of you to the physics online class. See dear students, up to now the 10th chapter we have finished in the physics second PUC, and up to the last chapter we discussed, that means we started the wave optics in the last chapter where you discussed, you learnt the concept of the how the light is behaving like a wave and how that is showing us the wave nature, and with the help of the wave nature what are the phenomena related. Yes, especially there we discussed the phenomena such as the interference of light and the diffraction of the light. Yes, actually one more was there, as I told, polarization, but it is not taken to our syllabus. Yes, and now see, beginning of the wave optics only I have told, there the light also exhibit another nature, that is called the particle nature, because the photoelectric effect, the Compton effect, black body radiation, Raman effect, such a conditions or the such a phenomena could not be explained by the considering light as a wave. That can be explained only when the light is considered to be, it is in the form of the particle. Yes, then today we are going to start the new chapter, that is a chapter number 11 the chapter number 11, that is dual nature of the radiation and the matter. See dear students, the name of the chapter only tells you the dual nature of the radiation and the matter. That means in the nature, matter as well as the radiation. Matter means that is a particle of having mass, radiation means it is like a light. Okay, both are possessing the dual nature. That means sometime matter behave like a radiation, sometime radiation behave like a matter. So both are having the dual nature. So in this chapter completely we are dealing about how the light behaves, that is mainly about the particle nature of the light first. Yes, and later we discussed earlier the particle nature was explained by means a few of the scientists, right? So then in order to understand that particle nature, we need to understand how the matter is made up of. That matter is made up of the atoms and the molecule, and we know that every atom consists a central nucleus and the electrons are revolving around it, isn't it? And the center of the nucleus, that consists the positive charge, electrons having a negative charge, they are revolving around the nucleus. Then tell me, who discovered the electrons? Scientist J.J. Thomson. You learned that in the first PUC only. Scientist J.J. Thomson who discovered electron. And what are electron? Electrons are the negatively charged fundamental particles or fundamental constituent of the matter. So here J.J. Thomson introduced the electron to the world, and there the electron is considered as the main constituent for the matter. Hi, and next we know that every matter, that it means every atom or every object, every matter consists many number of the particles such as the atoms, and if atoms are combined together they are forming the molecules only, isn't it? Then later he also given the charge and the mass of the electron also. Yes, and as we know, electron is a negatively charged particle. It is negatively charged. And second one, what is the mass of electron? The mass of the electron, so by experiment, that was given as nearly 9.11 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg. This is the smallest mass in the nature that can be measured. The mass of electron is equal to 9.11 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg. And next one, the charge of the electron. The charge of electron E value can be given as 1.61 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Yes, so this is a charge of the electron. Later, the scientists started to understand and explain about the mass and charge of the electron, and they have done the experiment on the specific charge of the electron also. What is the meaning of a specific charge? Specific charge means they have taken the ratio of the specific charge of electron, means they have taken electron to the mass ratio here. The ratio of the electric charge of the electron to the mass of the electron, that can be given as 1.61 into 10 raised to minus 19 to the 9.11 into 10 raised to minus 31. Then I think after the simplification we get the value of 1.76 into 10 to the power. So nearly it comes 80 plus 31, 19 means that comes 12 kg per, coulomb per kg. Coulomb per kg, because charge to the mass. Charge is measured in a coulomb and the mass is measured in a kg. So the coulomb per kg is the SI unit of the specific charge or the charge to the mass ratio of an electron. Yes, and by this we are getting a clear idea that electrons, this chapter is starting with the basic concept of the study of the electron, then about how the electrons are emitted from the surface of the metal. So as you know, the conductors, in conductor means specially where we are focusing metals only, and metals are formed, they are formed with many molecules, and every molecule that consists the atom, and every atom consisting the electrons here. And that electrons, how they are present? They are loosely bound to their outermost electric shell. Yes, the thing you are studying in chemistry already. Assume this is the nucleus and here many shells will be there. And see here free electrons. What are called free electrons? The electrons which are loosely bound to the outermost shell of an atom, and that can be removed easily by applying some of the external energy. ಏನದಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಆಟಮ್ದಲ್ಲಿ outermost ಇರುವಂಥ electronಗಳನ್ನು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ we can remove them easily. Such electrons we can call as the free electrons. See, free means they will not be free like anything. They are just very loosely bound to the nucleus. And then we have the idea that in order to separate, see, nucleus is having which charge? Positive. Electron having which charge? Negative. Which force is present between them? There is a electrostatic force of attraction between the nucleus, positively charged nucleus and negatively charged electron. In order to break that strong force between strong attraction between the electron and the proton, we have to give certain minimum energy to them, isn't it? So therefore, next we need to study the emission of the electron from the metal surface. What do you mean by emission? Emission is the process of removal of the electron from the outermost shell of the atom. Assume it is the atom and the electrons are present in the outermost shell. Then you want to remove that electron from that outermost shell. That process we call as the emission. What it is called? emission. The process of, simply you can say the process of removal of electron from the outer surface of the or from the metal surface. Simple also we can say the process of removal of electrons from the metal surface is called the emission. Yes, then just now I told they are means free means they are not free, they have a bonding between the nucleus with the nucleus and between the electron, isn't it? Then they are, that bonding can be broken by applying the certain external agency. Then based on what external energy we are supplying, accordingly we are giving the name of the emission here. Okay. So then the first name for the emission is, and okay, actually before going to the emission, here we get one point that is called work function. Work function. Yes, what is the meaning of work function? Work function. Work function is denoted by a letter pi naught here, and that pi naught can be given as by the formula h nu naught here. Remember dear students, these formulas will help us in a further things to study more. Yes. Okay. Now we concentrate here only about the work function. What is the meaning of the work function? Just now I told, whenever you want to remove the free electrons from the metal surface, we need to give certain minimum energy to that metal surface. So the minimum energy required to remove the electron from the metal surface we call as the work function. Yes, work function means the minimum amount of energy required or given, the minimum amount of the energy given to the metal surface to remove the electron from its surface we call as the work function. Then next question is whether all the metals having the same minimum energy? No, the metals are different, means accordingly the work function value also changes. Okay. Then in your NCERT text they have given one complete table there related to the different metals, the work function value is different there. Yes, if copper is there, its work function is different. Cesium is there, its work function. Lead for that metal different. Zinc for that also different. Like this, every metal has different work function. That means what? For every metal surface, we need to provide the necessary minimum energy to remove the electron from their outermost orbit or from their metal surface. Okay. Then here, for example, I can take the two metals, one is a cesium and another one is a platinum. Cesium is the metal which has the minimum. The smallest work function can be given to the cesium, that is of the order of, its value is 2.14 electron volt. 2.14 electron volt. The work function is measured in the electron volt. What is the EV here? Electron volt. Then one more question arises here. What is the electron volt? What does it mean? 1 electron volt means how can you define? And here 1 electron volt can be given in terms of joule also. Yes, electron volt means the amount of the energy gained by an electron, when it is given with the potential of 1 volt. See, this is the
field you assume. There is an electron. When I provide here the potential difference of 1 volt, the electron is accelerated. Due to the acceleration of the electron, what it obtained? It obtained an energy there. So, the energy gained by an electron due to its acceleration when a potential of 1 volt is provided. Yes, that potential only we call as the 1 electron volt potential. So, the 1 electron volt can be given in terms of 1 electron means its charge will be, how much will be the charge of electron? 1.61 or 6 into 10 raised to minus 19 into here 1 volt of the potential is given. 1 multiplied with any 1 means and its quantity means again the same number will be obtained here. So, the 1 electron volt can be converted into joule as 1 EV is equal to 1 electron volt is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 joules. Remember dear students, this relation you require during the conversion of the energy from electron volt to the joules. By this you can convert the joule energy in electron volt also. Okay. So, 1 electron volt means it is equal to how much? 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 joules. If 1 joule means how much electron it may come? Yes, further we can take here only 1 joule means we can write that is equal to 1 upon 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 electron volt. We can take like this, isn't it? Okay. So, this is what about the work function and how it is measured. It is measured in a electron volt, and we have taken one example here. Cesium metal has the work function of 2.14 electron volt. Then what about the platinum? Platinum has the work function of 5.65 electron volt. 5.65 electron volt. Then now the question comes, what does it mean? Hingandre enri. What does it mean? So, it explains that when the cesium metal surface, when a cesium metal surface is given with a potential of 2.14 electron volt, the free electrons present on its metal surface are emitted, they are removed. When, assume it is a cesium metal. Yes, when you apply an energy of 2.14 electron volt, then what happens? The metals on that surface, the free electrons which are present, they are emitted from its surface. Yes, the same thing for the platinum also. What the platinum value, the work function for platinum is 5.65 electron volt means when we provide the potential of 5.65 to the platinum, then it gives us the free electrons. That means the free electrons present on its metal surface can be removed out. Then my question, if you give 4.5 electron volt to the platinum, will it remove the electron? No, because it has a particular potential here. When you provide 5.65 volt only to the platinum, then only the electrons bounding to the surface of that metal can be removed out, can be taken out. Yes? Okay. So, then if you give nearly 3.2 or 3.1 electron volt to the cesium, will it remove or will it take the electrons out of that? No, they are also not possible, because it is related to the particular potential only. Therefore, by these two examples, we will come to know that every metal has its own work function. When you provide that much potential only to that metal, then only the free electrons which are present on its metal surface can be taken out, can be ejected, can be removed. Am I clear? Yes. Then come, let us study about what types of the emissions are present. See dear students, these types of the emission is very important. 2018 the question come, mention the types of electron emission. So if you name any two of them, then you will carry the marks here. Okay. So then next let us study about types of emission. Yes. Actually there are 4 types, but in our NCERT text we have only 3. So emissions. Let us discuss the 4 also. The 4th one. The first one is thermionic emission. Thermionic emission. Second one, field emission. Field emission. Next one, photoelectric emission. And the last one, secondary emission. Actually you don't have the secondary emission. Only in your NCERT you need to study this, but it is better to understand secondary also. Okay. Then first one, thermionic emission. The name of that emission only explains us. Therm means heat, because you learnt that concept thermodynamics in our previous year, that is first year. Yes, therm means what? Heat. Emission means what? Removal of the electron, isn't it? So thermionic emission means the process of removal of electron from the metal surface by heating it. By heating it. What is the process? Thermionic emission means? Emission means removal of electron is taking place. How that electrons are removed? By heating the metal surface. Am I clear? Yes, thermionic emission means the process of removal of the electrons from metal surface by heating it. Okay. Then second one, field emission. Field means you know the concept of electric field and the magnetic field. If any one of the field is applied to the metal surface, then also it is possible to remove the electrons from its shell or its surface. Then field emission or emission means the process of removal of electrons from metal surface by application of suitable electric or magnetic field. Electric or magnetic field. See, in the field emission we may apply the electric field or the magnetic field. When the magnetic field is applied to the metal, the free electrons which are bounding on the outer surface or the free electrons can be removed out, taken out. Yes, and here nearly in the field emission, how much the potential the field can be applied here means that the field will be of the order of 10⁸ volt per meter. Remember, so up to that much order if you apply the electric or the magnetic field, better electric field only, yes, then there the electrons can be taken out. Okay. Then the next one is a very beautiful one, because in this chapter throughout we discuss about the photoelectric effect only. Yes, and its emission, what are the conditions and different observations. Okay. So then photoelectric, photo means you know that light or radiation. Emission, electric emission, that means when a photons are emitted, electricity is produced. So photoelectric emission means, take this is the metal surface. Okay, any metal we can take. and the metal surface when it is radiated or when it is when the suitable frequency of the light incident on the metal surface, electrons are emitted from its surface. Such a phenomenon is called as the photoelectric emission. Am I clear? See, in the first one how the electrons are emitted? By heating the metal surface. In the second one, how electrons are emitted? By applying a suitable electric or the magnetic field. Then in the next one, the electrons are emitted when a radiation, when a light of suitable frequency incident on the metal surface, electrons are removed out of its surface. That is called the photoelectric emission. Am I clear? So, this is a very important concept you need to study, right? Then the last one is the secondary emission. Secondary means when high energy particles or the electrons, electron also, or high energy particles collide with the electron, that electron can be taken out. So, such a process of removal of the electron we call as the secondary emission. Am I clear? Okay. So, dear students, in this session we understood the point of the first one, how the dual nature of the radiation and matter started. That is started with the matter only. Matter consists the atom and the fundamental particle of the atom is electron only. So, first the discovery of the electron, that discovered by J.J. Thomson, and he only introduced what is the charge, and even the electron has the spin. What is the spin of the electron? The spin of electron is 1/2 only, remember, and its charge and mass also noticed there, and finally they calculated its specific charge called the charge to the mass ratio, and its value is obtained. Okay. Then next we started the point of the emission here. Emission is the process of removal of the electron from the metal surface, right? And in order to emit the electron, we have to apply the certain minimum amount of the energy. So, that energy provided we call as the work function. This work function is different for the different metals. So, I have used here the two example. One is a cesium, another one is a platinum. For the cesium, the work function value is 2.14 electron volt. Yes, and I have defined 1 electron volt also, and it can be converted in terms of joules, that as a 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 joule, right? And the meaning of the cesium as a 2.14 eV and platinum I have given. Why I taken these two only? Because the minimum value for the work function is for cesium, the highest value of work function is for the platinum only, right? Then based on what external energy we are giving, we have classified the emission into 3 types. Yes, and the first one is the thermionic emission. There we are providing the heat and removing the electron. Second one, field emission, where we apply the electric or magnetic field and remove the electron. And last one, photoelectric effect, where we give or the certain frequency radiation will incident on metal surface and the electrons are removed. And secondary means where? So, what happening? High energy particles or the electron may collide and that will remove the electron. Yes, I hope you understood the concept of this chapter, and further things related to the photoelectric effect we discuss in the next class. Thank you for watching my videos.